What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? And welcome to this week's Smackdown recap. And as always in these recap videos, we go over everything that you need to know about this important episode of WWE. I get my thoughts on the show at any point in the video. You guys can leave me your thoughts down in the comments below. But as always, before we get anywhere into any video, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload. Go follow the socials. Links to those will be in the description of this video. That includes my Instagram account, my X account. Do all that helps me a ton. And now let's get you guys straight into this week's Smackdown recap. Alright, so we would kick off the show with Cody Rhodes. He would come out and say, what do you want to talk about? What we would end up talking about is Drew McIntyre. Cody Rhodes pretty much says that he knows that Drew McIntyre is half in, and he says that, you know, if he was his boss, he would fire Drew McIntyre. He says, but the one thing that I can do is whoop his ass. So pretty much Cody Rhodes just telling McIntyre what he thinks of him. He thinks he's a lot lower than pretty much the entire roster, and like I said, he pretty much thinks that he is half in because that is quite literally what he said. From there, though, we would take a step away from that, and we would see Cody Rhodes' opponent tomorrow night at Saturday Night's main event, who is Obafemi. He would come out. This is his first, well, technically second appearance on the main roster. I think it's the second because we had the first last week, which I believe was the first. But yeah, he comes out, and we get a promo between the two. So pretty much what Oba says is he gives a rundown of who he is. He says he's Obafemi. He says he's the ruler. He says that he is the NXT champion. And then from there, we hear Obafemi pretty much, he kind of pays some homage to the spirit of hustle, loyalty, and respect, because he tells Cody that in the spirit of hustle, loyalty, and respect, your time is up and my time is now. So pretty much giving that rundown that it's pretty much tomorrow night, it's going to be the future versus the present being Cody, future being Obafemi. And then that's really it. I mean, from there, Cody Rhodes, he would say, I'm glad that that's somebody you look up to in John Cena, but then he raised up his title and said, but here's the guy who beat John Cena for this title, and then he drops the mic, and respectfully earned, honestly. Like, I mean, if he beat John Cena, and he's, you know, respectfully earned, he definitely has the right to drop the mic and just walk out, but Oba does not let him walk out. He holds his arm, and then he brings Cody Rhodes back. No brawling, but they would both raise up their titles and have just a standoff, and then that was really it. So what do you have to know here? Well, it was pretty much just giving a closer look at what we can expect tomorrow night. I think that match is going to be awesome. I think this was a pretty cool promo, just paying some homage to hustle, loyalty, and respect. Pretty much just telling us that Oba is the future, and obviously Cody is obviously the present. So pretty much that's really all you got to know here. Alright, now we would jump into the United States Open Challenge, and this week it would take place between the defending Ilya Dragunov versus Tommaso Ciampa. We finally got the match. Tommaso Ciampa been wanting his shot. He finally got it tonight. This was an absolute banger of a match, man. The US Open Challenge just continues to build an even better reputation as the weeks go on. This one absolutely contributed to that. We saw blood in this match. One of probably my favorite spot in the match. We saw Tommaso. He would go up to the top. He would have Ilya on his shoulders, and he was doing his, I believe it's his finisher move, or some sort of, like, it looked like a Death Valley driver for a second, in my opinion, but overall, the move looked awesome. I liked it. Probably my favorite part of the match. Looked very freaking cool. But overall, very solid match. Like I said, we would even see blood, which was pretty freaking awesome. And then at the end of the match, we would see Tommaso Ciampa's goons. They would come out, that being obviously Johnny Gargano, and then obviously Candice LeRae. They would come out. Candice LeRae would pretty much try to stop Ilya Dragunov, just pretty much distract him, which would allow Tommaso to hit his finishing move with a knee to the face. That would go 1, 2, almost got that 3. Ilya would kick out, and then we would see pretty much a roll-up by Ilya. 1, 2, 3, matches over. Post-match attack on Ilya by Tommaso, Johnny, and Candice LeRae. But then we would see Carmelo Hayes come out, help out Ilya, then shake Ilya's hand. So most likely, what are we getting from this? Probably Ilya and Carmelo Hayes next week versus Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. That'll be definitely a good match in my opinion. But overall, this match tonight, overall, absolutely liked it. Very awesome match. And like I said, Ilya Dragunov still walking out your United States champion. Alright, now we would jump into the WYATT 6, so all of the members of the WYATT 6 would come out. Uncle Howdy would get on the mic, and he addresses Solo Sikoa and the MFTs. He says that, Solo, you say that you know everything about family, you say that you love your family, but the truth is all you do is use your family, and you try to sit here and you try to ruin our family. You try to say that we don't know nothing about family, but pretty much look at you. And then he says, Solo, you're pretty much, your family is crumbling. Everybody that loved you has already turned their back on you because you pretty much don't know how to run a family. You don't know how to be a leader. Pretty much you're corrupted, basically. And then he says, Solo, you say that you and your MFTs MFTs that you guys run SmackDown, but the truth is, look what we have compared to what you have. He raises and then Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis, they raise up the tag titles, lay him in the ring. All the members of the WYATT SIKKS, they go down over to the titles and they say, Solo and the MFT, you want them, come get them. Then we would hear Solo Sikoa and the MFT, their music would hit, but then they would pop up on the screen. Then he tells they tell the WYATT SIKKS, we're gonna do this our way. We're gonna do this on our terms, not your terms. It is our time now. And then pretty much he says that, you know, the only thing that you can do, and if you want to keep your family safe, you either hand over those titles, or if you want to, like I said, if you want to keep your family safe, you know, pretty much the only thing you can do is run. So that's pretty much it. So what does this tell? Oh, also one more thing, we are going to get a tag match for the titles next week on SmackDown as well, because Solo said that they would be coming for the titles next week on SmackDown. So there's that as well. So what do we get from this? Well, next week we're getting that match for the titles. So that's going to be awesome. That's going to be an absolute goated match. Cannot wait to see that. Definitely going to be interesting to see how that one plays out. We're finally getting the WYATT SIKKS versus MFTs. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait. Can't wait to see how this continues to play out. So far, I think it's going pretty good. I actually liked what we saw here tonight. I think it was great. Can't wait to see more, and we will see what happens next week. But overall here, I actually enjoyed this for the most part. All right, now we would jump into Lash Legend versus Alexa Bliss. Very freaking quick match, man. Really, this match kind of really sets the tone for really the future of the women's division. So, yeah, we jumped into this match, and like I said, over very quick. So we get to the end, and Lash Legend hits her finishing move on Alexa, and then it's 1, 2, 3, man. Really freaking quick match, but what this shows is that WWE definitely sees Lash Legend as the future. I mean, dude, she just pinned Alexa Bliss in less than like a 5-minute match. Definitely less than 5 minutes, bro. Even probably way less than that, honestly. So that's kind of insane if you ask me. A very freaking quick match. So overall, that's really all you have to know. There's not much else to talk about except that Lash Legend is most likely the future for sure. Like, that's definitely what WWE sees in her after what we saw tonight. There's just no freaking way. All right, now we would jump into Javon Evans versus The Miz. As you can expect, man, Javon Evans just as stunning as usual. Overall, this match, in my opinion, I actually enjoyed it just because, honestly, Javon Evans, man. Javon Evans made this match just 10 times better. Overall, he does great stuff in the ring, and that did not change whatsoever in this match. It stayed the same. He freaking did amazing. Obviously, at the end, though, we would see Javon go up top. He'd hit the OG cutter when he jumps off the top rope and then hits that little kind of like an RKO type of move. It looks freaking awesome. Was absolutely clean tonight. Looked absolutely stunning. And then gets that 1, 2, 3 on The Miz. And then that match is over. So what you have to take from here, Javon Evans does win. And honestly, this just keeps going to show that, you know, Javon Evans is also going to be part of the future because obviously who is The Miz? Well, The Miz is obviously, I believe it is 2-time Grand Slam champion, and he just got pinned by an NXT superstar. So that just goes to show that Javon Evans is definitely going to be one of the leaders in the future. So overall, cannot wait to see what Javon Evans holds in the future. But overall, this match in general was overall, in my opinion, amazing. All right, now we would jump into Michin. So she would kind of just be cutting like a backstage promo on Jade Cargill because they were scheduled to have a match. We would see Jade Cargill. She would come around and she would sock Michin. Then Jade Cargill would go out to the ring, and then pretty much as she said before, she would say, as I said, I'm that. And then she's about to say the B word, but then she gets cut off by Michin. Michin comes back out after getting attacked by Jade with a kendo stick. She gets beat down, and then pretty much that's it. I mean, Jade Cargill gets to walk out, and, you know, she gets beat down again. That's really all you got to know, man. It's kind of just the same format we've been seeing with Michin and all that. Really could care less for this. I like the Jade Cargill gimmick. I don't like what they're doing with it is my personal thing here. But, yeah, that's really all you got to know because there's not much else to talk about here. All right, we have finally reached our main event of the night, which took place between Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest, or the Tear Twins, versus Aleister Black and Zelina Vega. And honestly, in this match, I honestly think I had my hopes up just a bit too high, honestly, because I mean, going in, hearing that the Tear Twins are going to be teaming up again, I kind of had higher expectations just from the overall match, but I feel like the match wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. Not that it was bad, I just feel like not as good as it could have been. A few moments in this match that were a bit sloppy where, you know, Zelina did fail her move, like, I believe it was like twice, maybe 3 times, somewhere in there, which, I mean, it was a bit annoying. I mean, I get it happens, but, you know, I feel like it happens a good amount to Zelina Vega. But yeah, but overall, I mean, it just was overall a decent match. It wasn't anything super insane, not anything terrible, though, like I said, but we would get to the end, though. We would see a double Razor's Edge from the Tear Twins to
Alistair and Zelina, and then that would get the 1, 2, 3 for Damian and obviously Rhea Ripley. So then the match would be over. Terra Twins do pick up the win here. That's really all you got to know, man. There's not much else to really talk about here. So yeah, the Terra Twins do pick up the win, and that's really all you got to know. Alright, everybody, we have now reached the end of this week's SmackDown recap. As always, be sure to leave me your thoughts on how you guys felt about this episode of SmackDown down in the comments below. I personally thought it was overall decent. I don't think it was really anything super insane, but also wasn't terrible, you know. I think it was somewhere in between the decent to good range, but overall, like I said, leave me your thoughts down in the comments below. Before we get out of here, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload. Go follow the socials. Links to those will be in the description of this video. That includes my Instagram account, my X account. Do all that helps me a ton. I will catch y'all boys in the next one. Peace.